Hi, welcome to Advanced English with Steve UK, and of course I'm Steve. Now in this video we're going to look at 50 advanced English expressions. Now I say advanced, you may look at some of them and think, oh, well, I know that one, it's pretty easy. But often advanced learners do forget or have never come across some of them. Many of them you may not know. Now when I say expressions, I mean lexical chunks. Lexical chunks including collocations, phrasal verbs, and idioms. They're lexical chunks. They're what we use all the time as native English speakers. And if you want to speak naturally like a native speaker, they're what you want to learn and start introducing in your conversation. Good grammar is all very well, but these idiomatic expressions are very important. Now, I haven't split them into collocations, phrasal verbs, idioms. I don't think it's a very good way of doing it. I do produce videos like that sometimes, but you don't come across conversations which include all phrasal verbs and all idioms and all collocations. They're all mixed together. So I've mixed these up as I go along. Now, many of them you'll see in the examples, they seem to be kind of sort of business idioms. But don't get confused about that. When I say business, I don't mean working in some kind of corporate, real business environment. Call it a work environment if you like. You could be a teacher. You could be working in administration somewhere, in a charity, in a hospital, and they still come in handy there. But the important thing is that most of them you can also use in everyday social conversation. They've transferred over to normal conversation as well. So they're all particularly useful. Okay, you have 50 here. I do intend producing many more, so make sure that you subscribe and you'll catch up on the other ones I produce later. And when I've produced all, it'll be about 200 or 250, then I'll also make a PDF. So you can download the PDF, also with some exercises as well, so you can test yourself. Okay, let's go. And here's the first one. On the same page, in agreement or thinking similarly. We need to ensure we're all on the same page before we start the project. The team was finally on the same page after the long discussion. You and I are on the same page about that film. It wasn't very good. Cutting edge. Very modern and advanced. The company is known for its cutting-edge technology. They always invest in cutting-edge research and development. As it happens, one of my favourite teaching books, resource books, is called Cutting Edge. Go the extra mile. She always goes the extra mile to help her students. The customer service team went the extra mile to resolve my issue. My sister always goes the extra mile to help me out. Under the weather, feeling unwell. I'm feeling a bit under the weather today, so I won't be coming in. It looks like he's under the weather. Maybe he should see a doctor. He says he's under the weather. I'm not surprised after the amount he drank last night. Hit the nail on the head. To accurately identify the problem or solution. His analysis really hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head when you said she was unhappy. When you said that he lives beyond his means, he can't afford it, you hit the nail on the head. Back to the drawing board. To start over because a previous attempt failed. The design didn't work, so it's back to the drawing board. Call it a day. To stop working for the day. Let's call it a day and continue tomorrow. After reviewing the reports, we decided to call it a day. Oh, I feel a bit tired. I think I'm going to call it a day and go to bed. Keep an eye on. To watch or monitor something or someone. Can you keep an eye on my bag while I go to the toilet? Please keep an eye on the time so we're not late. Do me a favour. Just keep an eye on the children, will you, for a moment? I'll be back soon. Hit the ground running. To start a project or task with enthusiasm and energy. She hit the ground running on her first day at the new job. They hit the ground running with their new marketing campaign. That new teacher has really hit the ground running. She's got the kids motivated already. In the same boat. In the same situation, often difficult. We're all in the same boat, so let's work together to find a solution. When it comes to dealing with the pandemic, the whole world is in the same boat. Yeah, with the cost of living having gone up as it is, everyone's struggling. Spill the beans to reveal a secret. He accidentally spilled the beans about the surprise party. Don't spill the beans about our new project just yet. Don't tell her. She'll spill the beans. She'll let everyone know. Piece of cake. Something very easy to do. This test is a piece of cake compared to the last one. For her, solving maths problems is a piece of cake. I find computer games very difficult. My grandson finds them a piece of cake. Break a leg. A way to wish someone good luck, especially before a performance. Before the play, everyone told the actors to break a leg. Break a leg at your interview tomorrow. Some people think that this comes from Shakespearean times when people used to bring a stool or a chair to watch the performance, and they'd get so excited they'd break a leg of it. So the performance was very good. The ball is in your court. It's up to you to make the next decision or take action. I've done all I can, now the ball is in your court. The ball is in their court to respond to our offer. I can't give you any more advice, you have to make the decision. The ball's in your court. Through thick and thin, through good times and bad times, they've remained friends through thick and thin. A true friend is someone who stays with you through thick and thin. Despite all their ups and downs, they've stayed together throughout their marriage, through thick and thin. Under the table, secretly and often illegally, they were caught paying workers under the table. He bought and sold second-hand cars under the table to avoid paying taxes. I got it very cheap. I paid under the table. Don't tell anyone. Jump on the bandwagon to join others in doing something that is currently popular. He always jumps on the bandwagon when there's a new trend. Many companies are jumping on the bandwagon of remote work. Loads of my friends are playing that new word game app I haven't jumped on the bandwagon yet. Doesn't interest me. The tip of the iceberg, a small part of a much larger problem or situation. What we saw was just the tip of the iceberg. The real problems are much deeper. These symptoms are only the tip of the iceberg. This reminds me of the Titanic disaster. 4/5 of an iceberg are below the surface. Get out of hand. To become uncontrolled or chaotic. The party got out of hand after they started drinking. The situation can quickly get out of hand if we're not careful. Watch out for the children. They're getting overexcited. They'll get out of hand if we're not careful. See eye to eye. To agree fully. We rarely see eye to eye on how to raise the kids. They finally saw eye to eye on the issue after a long discussion. My family and I just do not see eye to eye on politics. We completely differ. Bite the bullet. To face a difficult or unpleasant situation, you'll just have to bite the bullet and tell the truth. I decided to bite the bullet and accept the job offer. This comes from war situations when a soldier who was undergoing an operation would be given a bullet to bite on to stop him biting his tongue. Burn the midnight oil. To work late into the night. She's burning the midnight oil to finish her thesis. I had to burn the midnight oil to get the project done on time. Obviously this comes from days before electricity, when people used to use an oil lamp at night. Off the top of your head. To think of something spontaneously without much thought. I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, I'd say we have about 20 staff members. Off the top of my head, I can't remember her name. I think it begins with B, but I'm not sure. A blessing in disguise. Something that seems bad at first, but turns out to be good. Losing that job was a blessing in disguise. I got a better one. Failing the exam was a blessing in disguise because it made me study harder. This is quite an old idiom. It goes back in time. Pull someone's leg. To joke or tease someone. Relax, I'm just pulling your leg. He said he won the lottery, but he was just pulling my leg. Be careful with this one. It sometimes can be amusing. It can sometimes be irritating. Just be careful. Back to square one. To start over from the beginning. When the plan failed, we were back to square one. After the client changed their mind, we had to go back to square one. Well, the hotel's completely booked up. We're back to square one. We're going to have to find somewhere else to go on holiday. Keep up with. To stay informed or maintain the same level as someone or something. I try to keep up with the latest news. It's hard to keep up with him. He's so fast. I just can't keep up with what's going on with that family. It's very strange. Blow off steam. To release pent-up energy or emotions. He goes for a run every evening to blow off steam. Don't take any notice of the boss if he shouts a bit. It's just his way of letting off steam. As a teacher, Of course, I never blow off steam with my students. Take the plunge. A plunge is like a dive, to commit to a risky or uncertain course of action. They finally took the plunge and started their own business. I'm nervous, but I'm going to take the plunge and move abroad. Hey, he's finally taken the plunge. He's asked her to marry him. Bring up. To mention or introduce a topic. She always brings up her achievements in every conversation. Don't bring up politics at the dinner table. Oh, I'm not bringing that up with him again. I know what the answer will be. It's just not worth it. In the loop, to be informed or included in a group. Please keep me in the loop about any updates. She felt left out when she wasn't in the loop. I sometimes use this in my Chatterbox group workshops. More often than not, I say please keep me up to date about something. Turn a blind eye. To ignore something bad or illegal. The manager turned a blind eye to the employee's misconduct. We can't just turn a blind eye to these problems. The teacher turned a blind eye to the children talking. Get away with. To do something wrong without being punished. He always gets away with coming in late. She got away with cheating on the test. My brother always used to get away with everything. I was the one who got punished. On the back burner, to delay or postpone something. We put the project on the back burner until next year. His travel plans are on the back burner due to the pandemic. I'm forever putting things on the back burner, usually because I run out of time to do them. Put up with, to tolerate or endure something unpleasant. She has to put up with a lot of noise from the construction site. I don't know how you put up with his rude behaviour. Don't confuse this with put someone up. To put someone up means to give them temporary accommodation. Jump the gun. To act too soon or prematurely. I think you're jumping the gun by making a decision now. They jumped the gun and started the project without approval. Don't jump the gun and book before we've sorted out whether we have enough money to afford it. Stay on top of. To remain in control or informed about something. She stays on top of her work and never misses a deadline. You need to stay on top of the latest trends in your industry. I find it difficult to keep on top of everything I want to do. Perhaps I'm not very good at multitasking. Keep your chin up. To remain cheerful and optimistic during difficult times. Keep your chin up. Things will get better soon. Even though he failed, he kept his chin up and tried again. Be careful with this one. If it's something minor, you can say keep your chin up, but obviously you're not going to say it to someone who's in a very despairing situation. Run out of. To exhaust the supply of something. We run out of milk. Can you buy some more? He ran out of ideas during the meeting. You could also, of course, run out of energy or run out of motivation. Keep an eye out. To watch for something or someone. Keep an eye out for the delivery truck. She always keeps an eye out for the bargains in the sales. Keep an eye out on the weather. I must take the washing in if it starts raining. Make up for. To compensate for something bad or wrong. I'll make up for being late by working extra hours. He made up for his mistake by apologising sincerely. He forgot their wedding anniversary and promised to make up for it by buying her something special for her birthday. Bend over backwards to try very hard to help or please someone. They bent over backwards to make sure we were comfortable. The customer service department bent over backwards to correct the order and offered compensation. My friend Frank bends over backwards to help me when I have a problem. Come up with. To think of an idea or plan. She came up with a brilliant solution to the problem. He always comes up with creative ideas. Oh, don't worry. We'll come up with something. We'll find a way around the problem. Take it with a pinch or grain of salt. To not take something too seriously or literally. You should take his advice with a pinch of salt. I heard the rumour, but I took it with a grain of salt. I actually always use pinch of salt. I suspect that grain of salt may be more American. Break the bank. To be very expensive. The holiday will break the bank if we're not careful. I'd love to buy that car, but it would break the bank. Oh, go on, you can afford that. Won't break the bank. Got plenty of money. Out of the blue, unexpectedly or suddenly. She called me out of the blue after years of no contact. The opportunity came out of the blue. Out of the blue, he proposed to her. She was taken completely by surprise. Hit the roof. To become very angry. When he found out about the mistake, he hit the roof. She hit the roof when she saw the damage to her car. When students make mistakes, I never hit the roof. Of course I don't. I'm very calm and understanding. Pull yourself together. To calm down and act normally. After the bad news, he needed a moment to pull himself together. You need to pull yourself together and finish the project. Now sometimes this is appropriate, but it's like chin up. Keep your chin up. Just be careful. If someone's had really sad news, you can't say pull yourself together. Get cold feet. To become nervous or uncertain about something. She got cold feet before her wedding. He got cold feet about moving to a new city. I have a friend who did actually get cold feet before her wedding and called it off. It was the celebrations which frightened her. She did get married eventually and have been very happy. Walk on eggshells. To be very cautious about one's words or actions. I always feel like I have to walk on eggshells around her. Whatever I say to him, it takes the wrong way. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells all the time. Hope you enjoyed the video. How many did you know? How many didn't you know? I would assume that there are quite a few new ones there which you were unfamiliar with. So, if need be, then watch the video again. Let me stress, they are important. We use them all the time. They are how we grow up as native English speakers learning English. So just using perfect grammar, you're going to sound a little bit boring. You need to start introducing these lexical expressions into your conversation. Okay, a good way of practicing them and learning them is to join our Chatterbox Zoom Workshops. They take place 3 times a week. They're very rewarding. They're great fun. We have a nice family atmosphere and they're super value. They really are the best way of becoming acquainted with these lexical expressions and practicing them. And you get a chance to meet learners from all over the world. So I'll leave the link in the description and give it a go. Hope to see you there. And with that, I shall say bye for now. Take care. See you soon.